Now we're going to take a look at some examples, but before I start, I just want to clarify some things from the previous video. So we are going to have, when we solve these problems, an original claim and a competing claim. And we're going to write those out first, and then we're going to figure out which is the null hypothesis and which is the alternative hypothesis. Now in this first example, they tell us. So example 1, H0, or the null hypothesis, is no more than 30% of the registered voters in Santa Clara County voted in the primary election. So it's no more than, so P, the population proportion, is less than or equal to 30. And then the alternative hypothesis is more than 30% of the registered voters in Santa Clara County voted in the primary election. So more than 30. Remember that the null hypothesis is going to have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or equal to. And remember that the alternative will have less than, greater than, or not equal to. That's an important thing to remember. Example 2. We want to test whether the mean GPA of students in American colleges is different from 2.0 out of a 4.0. And they want us to state the null and alternative hypotheses. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write out the original claim. And this is just how I do it. I find that it's easier. The original claim is that the average GPA is 2.0. So that means the competing claim, which would be, remember their opposites, is that the mean does not equal 2.0. Now we already know that anything with an equals is our null hypothesis. So our null hypothesis has to be the mean equals 2.0. And then automatically we know the alternative is does not equal 2.0. Example 3. We want to test if college students take less than 5 years to graduate from college on average. We have to find the null. So the original claim is that college students on average take less than 5 years to graduate. So then our competing claim is that college students would take equal to 5 years, more than, greater than or equal to 5 years. So when we look at these two, remember that the null hypothesis always has the equals in it. So that's our null hypothesis, and our alternative is less than 5. So with some practice, these get easier. Example 4. In an issue of U.S. News World Report, an article on school students stated that about half of all students in France, Germany, and Israel take advanced placement exams and a third pass. The same article stated that 6.6% of U.S. students take AP exams and 4.4% pass. Test if the percentage of U.S. students who take AP exams is more than 6.6%. They've given us a bunch of information here. The only thing that we are testing is the percentage of U.S. students who take AP exams is more than 6.6%. So our original claim is that we're using the proportion is more than 6.6%. And then our competing claim would have to be whatever this is not. So it would have to be less than or equal to 6.6%. So based off of this, the null hypothesis has to have the equals in it. So the proportion is less than or equal to 6.6, and our alternative then is greater than 6.6.